Good day, wonderful skiers. In this video we're going to talk about 5 reasons why you suck at skiing and how to fix it. Yes, I'm talking to you.
I'm trying to tell you we don't fit in your box. Why you try to box me and I got the key to unlock. I know the locksmith, optics, speak of the loss. I'm eating lobster, chopsticks.
What? Me? Yeah, you.
Fitting where I go at. Boss talk like I'm Boaz. Why fit in when you know you can stand out still?
Nah, you suck, old man. Ow, hurtful. Thought you might say that. I made this video for you anyway. Just have a look. I promise you, every turn you do on piste, powder or between jumps, they will start feeling better immediately when you start focusing on your turns. You're cruising. The problem with simply cruising from point A, a nice jump, and point B, a sick rail, or you can replace that with a mountain restaurant and an après-ski bar. You will never become great at skiing. Or worst of all, you don't get to enjoy the full beauty and glory of slow and steady improving your skiing. Because better skiing feels better and the journey never stops. Set a clear goal or task to practice for each ski day and find a nice balance between your challenge and skill so that you ski in the flow channel. Then you need immediate feedback so that you know that you're progressing. For example, today I'm going to set myself the goal to ski with higher and higher edge angles by daring to fall further on the inside to achieve this. Wow! That one wasn't so good, but it was a high edge angle. Then you need to try to do turns that challenge your current skill level. If you ski too easy, you'll feel maybe bored or just in control. If you make it a bit harder, you'll hit that sweet spot where you achieve flow easily. But make it too hard and you might feel anxious. Some of the tools we have to increase or decrease the challenge level is speed, steepness of turns, how big edge angles, or even you can modify your equipment, like skiing on one leg, open versus closed boots. Now you gotta learn to feel when you're getting it right, so you get immediate feedback from your body, how you're carving. First step is to focus on the big picture, how you're flowing from one turn to the next. You can maybe pick up on little things you can improve while you're skiing. Or you can zoom in further on your proprioceptive or intrinsic feedback. For example, searching for the sensation of just getting closer to the ground in general in your skiing. Or you can zoom in even further and search for this sensation at a certain point of the turn, at say the apex, and how close you are. How to make a simplified video analysis. Try to have a friend film you every day, and the best place to have the cameraman is straight from below, so you can ski towards the camera and pass it, so you get angles from the front, the side and behind. So I'm placing the cameraman in the middle, let some speed build up, and you start trying to do some sick turns and pass the cameraman. First time you're watching yourself ski, look at the outcome, the turn shape. Is it looking like the skiing you want to do? Here it's looking like I'm just trying to do a railroad drill, so it's not ideal. Go up and film it again and try to do some proper turns. Still, let's look at the outcomes. Yeah, the turns look like Jens is actually trying a little bit here, but the terrain looks a little bit too flat for him. But yet, good enough for a video analysis. Then look at yourself at 25 to 50% speed and look from the bottom up, the snow, how it's spraying, the feet, how are they moving, knees, hip, torso, head and arms. Or you can look at individual components like edging, rotation, pressure, posture, movement, balance, for example. And if we look at the right footer here, the outside ski, something wonky is going on here. Am I skiing poorly or am I just hitting some bumps? Important questions to ask. I would just suggest to myself in this case to be smoother transitioning onto the outside ski pressure, and you might fix it. There's a couple of key spots on your turn where you can place a certain sensation in your skiing, and that is the transition, top third, apex or bottom third. coach yourself. I really want to inspire you to dare to mess around and try stuff and simply do the bad thing you saw a little bit better. How to use Carv for immediate objective feedback. Another great way I love to track and measure my progress is with Carv. First way I like to use Carv is to track my skiing while I'm riding. And occasionally I like to put it on the monitor mode and listen to the exact edge angle I'm achieving to know if I'm really pushing this metric that I'm a bit obsessed with at the moment.
Hey Stomp it, let's get started. I'll read out your turn-by-turn max edge angle score.
65, 70, 68.
The second way I really like to use Carv is to see my long-term progress over weeks and months. It's a little bit hidden, but if you click on the metrics, you can see in the My Progress tab how you're doing. And right now my edge angles are up 23% and the last one is 70 degrees. I'm happy about that. Join a ski technique camp for adults where we combine expert level 4 ski instructors with video analysis and Carv to push your skiing to the next level. Upside down turning. Felt a bit over the top, feels stupid. The problem with upside down turning is that you'll never become a great skier like this, because it's best to build a turn from the bottom up. That's kind of fun though. Sure, you can make your skis move a little bit by chucking your upper body. It takes a lot of energy and it's much better to just move our feet instead. Roll from side to side or twist them a little bit for a nice skid. Way easier. Your body is a system, and to illustrate this, try this. Just close your hand gently. You only feel it in the hand, and if you press a little harder it goes up into your forearm and biceps, and if you go all out it's even going to tension your core, so the hands can steer pressure up into your body the same way the feet can. And now we're going to look at a couple of drills on how we can get better at turning from our bottom up. First drill we're going to do is the open boot skidded long turns. Here's how to safely ski with open boots. Open the bottom completely, just leave them like that. And these ones, if you've never done this before, I recommend you keep these little hooks in so you can't fall out of the boots. But this is a bit too easy for me. So undo them completely and use the strap on the top to have as a final block so I can't fall out of the boots. Let's go do it. Start on a flat slope like this one. Let's go for a ski and talk about what to think about. Think about that foot roll super smoothly from one turn to the next and let the feet steer the skis. Feel how you're standing on the middle of the foot. Feel that pressure on the big toe on the outside ski, and on the inside ski, roll it to the blade of the foot. Just a little bit weird, but quite nice. Remember that part about immediate feedback. Focus deeply on what's going on with your feet, how they're rolling and pointing in the direction of travel. Let's level up the drill with open boots, skidded short turns, still 100% focus on the feet, but now include the knees too. Let's go for a run. So to do the skidded short turns, we need to twist the feet much more. Therefore we need to use the knees as well. Try to point them in the exact same direction so we got perfectly parallel skis. The first few turns you can do can have a rather large radius, and if you want to make it more challenging you can do like this, a bit more tight turns. Whew, it's quite icy here on the gefrorene Wand. Let's put our improved feet and knee control to the test with the hardest drill in the world, the perfectly parallel skis drill. Have a friend follow you kind of like this, have a shout at you. Not parallel, parallel, when you're getting it right. And the slower you do it, the harder. So if you're like this at a fast walking speed, it's pretty hard to smoothly shift the weight from one foot to the other while maintaining parallel skis. You can do bigger turns to make it easier, or smaller and slower for much harder ones. Ooh. Boots still open. Now move up the chain even further, so feet, knees. Now we're going to use the hip flexors too to unweight in the inside ski. because with a really light inside ski, we can guide weight onto the outside and it's much easier to steer it around, just like this. Start with a bit bigger turns to make it easy. So here I'm unweightening it with the hip flexor, kind of pulling up the feet. And as you get the hang of it, you can do a little bit tighter turns, kind of like this. So I try to like really hover the inside ski, almost in the air, but still on the ground. Boot still open. Here's another drill. Let's move up from the hip flexors down to the abs. Keep a gentle pressure. Feel it into the pants or into the belt you have, kind of like a weightlifter. Just easy tension in the abs while then focusing on the feet again. And this way we can keep a more stable upper body. We can even start thinking about pointing the upper body down the hill a little bit. And you see my hands, I'm just gently pole planting, barely moving them. Ew. I hope I cured your upside down turns for these 5 drills. I wish you a lot of fun practicing. Here's some boot advice I wish I got in my early 20s as a freestyle skier. Number 1 is get a slightly stiffer boot. For freestyle skiing, you don't have to have a boot that is really soft. Go there to have a little bit of stiffness in them. It will actually help with freestyle moves like butters, etc. Then next thing, keep riding with comfy boots. Comfortable is the most important because skiing is no fun with uncomfortable boots. But for performance, you want to have it pretty snug fit. So you need to see a good boot fitter that helps you find the right boot for you. Because if it's too wide or too much volume, the foot will move around and you won't be able to trust your skis and rip a turn as well as you would like to. First advice to the 20-year-old Jens is sure, keep ripping the freestyle skis. Because I'm pretty doubtful that you would actually get a sick-pieced ski. Because a young me couldn't really afford it. But a young me could afford one of these, an edge bevel. And with one of these I could at least have a sharp ski from the binding to the tip and the binding to the back. They're cheap and awesome. Next tip for the freestyle skis, don't center mount them, like go 1 centimeter back or so, just for a little bit of more ski performance. If you want to become a great skier, you can do it on any of these skis, even the freestyle ski. you'd be surprised how well you can carve on a ski like this as well. If you want to choose one ski to learn to really rip a carve turn, I would suggest something like this. 15-16 meter radius, a little bit longer. It's short enough that you can make dynamic turns at a little bit slower speed than something like this with 18 meter radius, where people often get a little bit fearful. So that's my strong advice. 15-16 and learn to rip it on those. Poor posture and balance. When we're out skiing, we are constantly doing incredible feats of balance and posture, gradually moving from one ski to the next. And it's really hard, and we should challenge that by doing even harder skiing like this. First drill we're going to do is what I like to call 99% outside ski pressure. Before you drop in, I recommend that you just make a little bounce, recenter your posture, feel where it is, knees bent, hip to, arms out, then we drop in. All right, now we go back to training here. So basically lift the ski, but not enough to be in the air. You want to still feel a tiny bit of vibration underneath your inside foot. And this is really going to challenge your side-to-side balance. But also, if you're back-seated, you will really struggle. So it's going to give you much better posture if you do this for a nice long time. Okay, it's getting a bit steeper, more exciting for me here. Woo! Single leg carving, all right, arms out for balance. And it's on one leg. And if you want to have an easy time, you can drag both poles in the snow like such, or only the outside pole. And it's the easiest to do on a really flat slope at first.
While you're doing this, remember to keep the nose of the ski you're lifting up close to the snow or even touching. It makes a huge difference, much easier to maintain good fore and aft balance. And do this a whole bunch, it's gonna do wonders for your skiing. Both for not being back-seated, but also having awesome balance from side to side as we are doing lovely carb turns.
And if you want to make it harder, you can also undo your boots. Turn shapes, holding you back. The first ugly turn shape is too large radius. Say you're on a 50-meter radius turn and you do a 2 times as large radius, 30 meters. This will encourage park and ride, meaning you kind of just roll onto the edges and wait for the skis to take you. And this is not nice. We want to dynamically always increase and decrease our edge angles. So let's go for a ski, and I'm going to try to illustrate this. With too big radius, I mean too big for your radius of your skis, kind of like this. If you feel that you're static, kind of just staying in one position like this for a long time, it's too big. You want to feel something like this, that you gradually increase and decrease the edge angle. So it's dynamic and fun. Woo! Next ugly turn shape is too long arc length. Imagine a clock. You ski across the fall line up here at 12 and then go all the way to 6 o'clock and across the next fall line before you start the next turn. If you do this, it will be good for maintaining speed control, but a bit bad for having a nice flow. You'll have a lot of pressure on the outside ski, making it a bit more tricky to have a smooth transition into the next turn. Next ugly turn shape is the too short arc length. Imagine you're just skiing here from like 2 to 4 o'clock. If you do this, it'll be hard to maintain speed control and too little time to both incline and angulate, so we have nice high edge angles. Too short radius. I don't think this is necessarily a thing on carb turns, because it just means you manage to get really high edge angles so they carve faster. However, on the equipment side, I really recommend to have like a 15-16 meter radius ski if you want to get good at carving. When you're doing skidded short turns, then you might easily do too tight radius turns, and it can often be easy to do a sick turn if you make the radius slightly larger. So there's 4 ways we can do too much things in our turn shapes, and my favorite fix for this is doing an hourglass funnel drill, where you start with huge turns on the top. Try not to ski too much across the fall line, because then we get that too long arc length, right? But still go downhill a bit. Make them really wide, and then gradually smaller and smaller, and then bigger and bigger and bigger. Then you can go smaller and smaller and smaller again, and try to feel for a turn shape which is challenging you. We get nice G-forces, but you still have time to both incline and angulate. All right, so let's do some more funnels here. Don't go too crazy across. And then you can make it a bit smaller and smaller and smaller. I hope you understand the main point I wanted to get across in this video, which is A, focus on the journey, enjoy the process of getting better. Already that will make all your skiing be so much more enjoyable. And B, better turns does indeed feel much better. And consider joining one of our camps, Freestyle, Freeride or Ski Technique, that we do here in the Alps, or watch this next video. Ciao for now, and see you in the next one.